I got this fancy trucker headset going. It's actually JLab Work Buds, and it has the microphone extension. My hope is that the audio will be okay. Now, 7-11 energy, the upcoming Mars Uranus conjunction, which hasn't happened for 2 years. It's a 2-year cycle because Mars takes 2 years to go around. But it's one of the more the Tower card moment of the tarot, which has the meaning also of enlightenment, a revelation, judgment, um, an opening of the heart through some type of suffering sometimes. Now with Uranus, it will be electric. Uranium might out of the nowhere explode. When I looked up the charts of when we dropped the nuclear bombs, I thought that Pluto would be a contributing factor, like plutonian things, but it was Uranus, or vice versa. They have similar uranium as opposed to plutonium. I wonder if plutonium carries more of the characteristics that are attributed to plutonian things. We have a plutocracy, which is where we have a concentrated amount of power on a few people. That's what Pluto is in your chart. Pluto to have an important part in your chart. It does in our lives, and it does in the collective. Aquarius. Sorry, I have a loud muffler next to me. It's Pluto's generational, so the we have to block it off into sections of 30 some. Okay, okay. Now from Pluto and Uranus. Now from Pluto and Uranus, what we're trying to get at is when Mars, ruler to Pluto and a ruler of Scorpio, extreme, unpredictable events. We can feel a rising tension in us. It could be it's in the Earth side of Taurus, so in our bodies, in our sensual world, constantly just feeding our sensual appetites could get us stuck in a sense base level of consciousness, and then when we have an event where one of those senses is deprived, affected, then it shoots our conscious into something that is beyond the sensible world, namely a brush with death. When you have a brush with death, you appreciate life more, and the colors and the music, is all so much more enchanted and meaningful, appreciative of, grateful for. And the fact that an attitude of gratitude is beneficial to our health is evidence of love. We are evidence of God's love in nature, nature's love. And it's less than desirable traits. We get up and we are trying to evolve the conscious, grow a soul is what we're trying to do here. The, and the keys to this is in our letters, it's in our numbers, it's in ancient symbolism, the mystery teachers' teachings. It's in the measuring of time. It is through the principles of correspondence, where we have a quite a mystery teaching through the numbers 7 and 11. They rhyme. They both have the letters even in them, like Eve in the Garden of Eden, where everything is even and balanced and harmonious. In the seventh sign of Libra, both we have Lady Justice with her scales and her sword, taking up the seventh card of the Tarot, and or the 11th card of the Tarot, which are the two cards in the Arthur Waite deck that have been flipped around, switched around. If you take the major arcana, which is what the um, the cards of the Tarot are pictures of, those 22 letters, if you go to the 22 letters, which the 22nd is T for the Torah, the law, justice, the law, judgment. So these are higher laws that go beyond the laws of man. They're the natural laws that exist whether we do or we don't. And that's a whole nother meditation. But for the point of this, 7 is also given to, we take 3 out of it, the fourth card of the, so the fourth sign of the zodiac is a chariot card representing Cancer, who is the mother. 7, who is Zion, the sword, the penis. 11 is the walls of the Sabbath bride. The columns in third chamber, the 11, the 1 1, the 2, the high priestess, in between the of 2. It's 7-11 is a sex symbol. 7-11 is used in esoteric occult circles, such as the Illuminati's. Um, Beyonce has a video that she sings 7-Eleven is the name of the song, and she's wearing a black and white checker sweater. Seven, the seventh month of the year is September 11th was when they did their dark occult destruction of the temple ritual. Seven, the sword that slashes down the temple so that nobody else could get into it. 11, the 11th sign of the zodiac, Aquarius, the age of which we are entering into, hopefully. Going up the seventh, World Trade Tower 7, the seven steps on Jacob's ladder, who later became Israel, as he wrestled with the serpent. Samael, Mars, energy on the staff, the spine. Just like Hydra and Draco circle the bottom and tops of the spine of our planet, the middle of the cosmic tree, the axis mundi, the dollar sign, 7, S even, the two bars with the S going through it. But then the two, you'll also see it's just the staff, the rod of Asclepius is the dollar sign. Or the Caducean staff, one rod, two caduceus, which is similar to the Sadducees, serpent worshippers, the ites, Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. I say all that to say this. This is a time for uploads and downloads, channeling, but you'd be channeling some. That's what Uranus is about. Mass communication, mass events, going forward, breaking through boundaries, glass ceilings being busted. Just make an aspect to your sun, your heart being broken to be open, your skull being fractured to get mastered, to exercise good judgment, to learn morality, really is what the letters teach us, trying to teach us how to truly be a human, to ascend out of the animal world. This takes a conscious evolution, which is what we use astrology for, what we do in our study of Hermeticism. To know thyself, the motto of the Gnostics. And the way that we know ourselves is by studying our environment, our relationship to it. We see that as in a fractal holographic existence is which is what without. So when we study the zodiac, the numbers, the letters, it is us first going in, psychological, and we learn the nature's laws, ma'at, judgment. That was fun. 7-Eleven, watch out for occult activity. There was a cathedral burning down in one of the Notre Dames in France. The other Notre Dame got burnt down in a very occult ritual type thing, a very 7-11 destruction of the temple ritual. And it related to 7-11 somehow. 7 and 9 are kind of 9/11, 7/11, a little bit interchangeable. Being the ninth month of the year, for September. 9 is revered so much. It was a number so sacred they wouldn't even write it. Relating to our 9 months of incubation, gestation, generation. Now the body generates and evolves, but we have to do it consciously. And it's by using the body as a ladder and studying the body that we're in, we learn about our own body. Hey, Soul Trip, yo, Noah edits. Hey, bud. 7-11, the serpent through the gates. This could be the 9/11 thing was like a dark occult Aquarian age ushering in thing. But could it backfire on them? Can the masses awake? I have a hard time awakening myself. The more I read about consciousness and being awake, the more I'm convinced I'm in a walking freaking dream, asleep as shit, a slave to my senses. Even at the expense of my body, my temple, my goddess, my Apollo. May the gods of our ancestors, may the celestial spheres align in our favor, as within, so without. Let's be open to change, for knowing that change is only constant. Another hermetic principle, the principle of fluctuation, rhythm, and that everything has a tide. So let us do our best to stand in that middle fulcrum with the heart as light as a feather to perfectly balance the scales of Ma'at, of justice, that we might pass through the halls of Amente to behold the glorious face of Ra and Suna. That's good. So happy doing this. All right, love y'all.